Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready. Seizures increasing. I only have 1 to 2 seizures a month. Now, just this month alone, I've had about 6. He sees his neurologist at the end of the month, but the last few times he has brought up to them that they haven't been able to figure out why his seizures are picking up so much. It was a 95-degree day yesterday, so I decided to put up our water slide. It holds about 600 pounds. He had a pretty bad seizure in the pool park. I could tell he was fighting it too, because he just kept trying to get up and was falling back and back again. It scared me. It scared me bad, because the time I got to pull him, he fell in the water seizing, and had to be pulled out again. He stopped breathing, so I had to call 911.
I understand they got to the point of calling 911. I mean, if they feel like that last resort is where they're at, then no shame in that. What do you think, Twisted?
Basically, I think she's thinking it was a hot day.
Weren't they in the pool?
Yeah. And he had a seizure, but he was trying to get up, so she thinks he was kind of trying to fight it.
You can't fight a seizure.
I beg to differ. Yeah.
Elaborate.
Perhaps it was having auras or something, and he was, that's how I would describe fighting a seizure. If you can feel it coming on, and, it's like, oh, I know this is coming, and I got to get to a safe place, a cooler place, or maybe that's what she's implying. But yeah, calling 911 was the right thing to do. Yeah, all safety measurements. That's the right thing.
Especially because they said he stopped breathing.
All right, yeah. Make sure you take all that precautions, and always do that if you're never second doubt yourself like that. If you have any doubts, just better safe than sorry, I would say. Yeah.
There's a comment that says, "I have
And if you do feel,
go ahead.
If you do feel seizures coming on, try to, like I said, try to limit anything that might be a trigger. Try to remove those triggers that would bring on a seizure and auras and such. Just try to get out of the heat, get some water and such. You don't want to get to that level that would bring on a tonic-clonic or anything. Just bring it down. Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody here is saying, go ahead. Okay, sorry. Anyone else develop epilepsy for some random reason as an adult? This person says, developed epilepsy when I was 25 because I got shingles in my face and I developed encephalitis, which then caused me to be diagnosed with epilepsy. It's really complicated my life and I'm struggling to adapt to it. Just wondered if anyone else had this experience. And maybe not so specific with the shingles and what led to the diagnosis, but a lot of the comments are just saying, yes, I was diagnosed in my 40s. And
I've heard about shingles. I thought it came from something like the chicken pox or something like that.
Yes.
I'm glad I haven't had to go through it. Pray that I don't. But yeah, it's like a rash, right?
Yes. If you had chicken pox later in life, you can develop shingles.
Have
That's
you
an
had chicken
important
pox?
Well, that's why they're saying you should either get, like, if you haven't had chickenpox, that's why they push you to get the vaccine. Because apparently there's that thing where something about your immune system, if you've had that version of, the chickenpox, then you're less likely to catch shingles or something. They're the same family, they're related for sure. A lot of other people are just saying, yeah, they were diagnosed later in life, never really found a reason, and now it's just literally all about adjusting and trying the meds. Hold on to that hope is like a recurring theme here.
Encephalitis is where you
It's like that swelling in the brain.
I was diagnosed late in life, and they don't know why. They have no clue.
There you go, prime example.
I hope they figure it out, Jeff.
They
I've heard a
won't.
lot about that lately. A lot of people not being able to find out why.
I don't have any confidence that they'll ever find out.
Yeah, like Angel, he doesn't know why. That sucks.
And I don't know that it matters. This is who I am. And what's difference why I have it?
doesn't matter anymore. We have them.
Hey, exactly.
I guess that's the difference with me. I know there's a natural explanation for everything, and there has to be an explanation for it, and I don't know what it is, and that bothers me. And
Oh, because of my brain tumor.
yeah, and I don't know what my explanation is, and but there is an explanation. We just don't know what it is,
Okay.
and that frustrates me.
I agree. It frustrates me because I don't know either.
There's an
And then you start speculating out
order
of the
to the
blue, like
universe.
that one time that I fell when I was, that one time I went rollerblading without my helmet. Should I really have put the helmet on that one day? Like, you can't help but throw those crazy theories around when you have no answer.
I mean, does it
No.
matter in our lives where it came from?
At this point,
Really?
it only matters that it's not genetic.
Yeah.
Well,
Is it though? Because my grandma had it.
How
Then it could
similar
be
though? Were they
genetic.
able to document whether it was temporal or frontal, or how well did they really document it back then?
I don't know. It might just. Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
I think she was talking to Twisted.
Yeah, I was just following up on
Uh,
what Twisted said because she had her grandma. She said her grandma got diagnosed with it too, and I was thinking, okay, that's
uh,
kind of a breakthrough. But how do you know
oh,
if
sorry.
that's
Sorry.
even genetic? Because no, any contribution here is appreciated because I don't know if I even want to bother pursuing this genetic testing thing. Could be one of those things that like skips a generation, or there's
I don't
a lot
know.
of weird. Yeah,
I don't know
Well,
either.
it all matters because if we don't know half of these cases, then we don't know where it's coming from. If we knew where it was coming from, then perhaps we could prevent it in the future.
yeah.
The
I've seen a little bit right.
cause is, the cause is the whole start of prevention.
Yeah, starting point for sure.
I got something here that I haven't found. Says need advice on navigating through life now. Hey, I usually don't post, but I'm struggling. I had a grand mal seizure about a month ago while I was at work. Oddly enough, I work in a neurology setting, so they were able to get me through it. I then went to the hospital, were able to get me through it. I went to the hospital via the ambulance and had an EEG, CT, and MRI. They found a small lesion in the white matter of my brain, but they think that it's related to head trauma. I had a lot when I was younger, and it's because headaches, migraines, but not seizures. I've been placed on a 6-month no driving, being alone, etc. I'm just wondering how people deal with this. I'm a hyper independent person, so asking for help is incredibly hard for me. I don't know. I've made I don't know if I've made it through 1 month, but I don't I don't know how I'm gonna make it through the next 5 months. Any advice would be helpful. I do have a boyfriend, but he has to travel out of town for work. Switching jobs is an option right now while he is gone. I have had to Uber or DoorDash everything, and it's just not financially an option every day. Any advice on how to navigate through life? Um, Basically, the person's asked how to do everything. Basically, everything's taken from you. Grocery shop. For me, it's DoorDash and stuff like that. Getting places.
Uber.
Gotta do what I gotta do. I can't always sit around. Gotta figure out how to get there. If it's bus, Uber, all that. Especially if it's an appointment.
Well, it's a blessing that they said something about the job, being able to switch jobs for now, so that way you can start with the budget. I mean, she's definitely going to want to have that security, that sense of like knowing what money you can spend and can't spend, because all these priorities are now priorities. Before you could take a quick trip, and now that's going to cost like another $20 with delivery. So I think budget is like the starting point for adjusting and just figuring out what is a priority.
Gotta go.
All
Bye.
right, listen.
All right. Stop back in anytime. Tuesdays and Fridays anyway.
Yeah, with that situation, like I said, you just gotta. It's a woman though, so I can't just say just wing it. But I can't even say that to a guy because sometimes that's depressing. But if
And it's
you
not
do stay in the
practical.
house, you will be depressed, and if you do sit around and worry about what you cannot do, you will get depressed. But then, like in the beginning, I don't want to tell somebody in the beginning that it'll be all right, but don't stay in the house. If you get depressed, it's hard to get out of that sometimes. And yeah, make sure you have hobbies, things like that, things that you like to do. Avoid depression, avoid problems.
That's kind of another good part about setting boundaries at the beginning. If the priority is that it's just too risky to drive, make that a goal, and then you can use your energy for finding activities that do still bring you joy and that are still safe and practical. Find new hobbies and places to go and things. It's a process.
Yes, it is. It takes much time.
Somebody here is saying they want all the sleepy hacks they can get. 10 milligrams of melatonin and sleepy time tea isn't cutting it anymore. I'm staying away from the benzos for now, but open to other things. Bring on supplements or routines that work for you. Teach me your ways for getting a good solid 8. I don't want to laugh at you, but solid 8 is kind of a big goal. I think
Right.
like a solid 4 is nice. And
Solid
that's
8 is
after I still follow that, like tire yourself out and just have a nighttime routine.
Would avoid the tea. Once again, I've heard the teas like that aren't good for us. Um, I mean, I get by with seven. Seven's good for me. But yeah, I haven't gotten. I don't sleep well during the summer, but I don't know why. I think it's just weather. You know, heat's just not good in general, and the humidity. Um,
He keeps you up.
Not necessarily. It's really complicated. I have to have perfect conditions to sleep, like perfect, like the light, everything. I got a new air conditioner, and it faces the east, and all the sun comes in. So every day when the sun comes up at 5 o'clock in the morning, wakes me up at 5. It's like a
Mm.
it's like a beam of light. I'm just very sensitive to everything. You know, I know it sounds like I'm being a baby, but uh
You ever try the thing to cover your eyes? Do people sleep with that
I should.
sometimes?
Yeah, I know. I'll get one of those. I don't know. I'll do that. So
I've always thought
just
it'd be uncomfortable. Never tried it.
yeah.
Have any
Happen to
apps
get
ever done
darkening
anything for you?
shades?
Huh?
I
I have
I
room darkening.
I, I do have those, but they can't cover over the air conditioner, or else the room will get yeah. See that's the problem. Can't cover over the
The vents
air
gotta stay
conditioner,
clear.
or else the yeah. I sleep in an attic, so the room goes up to like 110 degrees.
He rises, so that's the top of the house.
Right. Yeah.
And usually like not the
It's
most
either really,
ventilated
really hot
part
up there.
either.
No, no. Yeah, it's pretty stuffy up there.
You ever tried an app? People are recommending these like peaceful sleep app things that help monitor, but is any noise for you like a no?
Oh no, I actually like the air
Okay.
conditioner. It's good white noise. I like that. Yeah.
Those can get loud, so that's a good one.
Hmm. Kevin, what are you taking? You said you're taking Depakote?
Depakote to Pyramid and Max.
Oh, yeah.
Clobazam. Max. Yeah. Yeah. Depakote. Yeah.
It says being charged with a felony. In February, I totaled my car during an epileptic seizure in Ohio. No other cars were involved, but I was injured. During the post-ictal state of my seizure, however, I assaulted a female police officer. I believe I kicked her in the stomach while being restrained by another cop. If I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, by telling her after the by her telling me that after the fact. Is how I know. They assumed I was drunk and took me to jail. My mom got the alert from my Apple Watch about the accident, went to the scene, but was told to leave because I was drunk. I had been leaving an AA meeting. I was feeling a little off, so a friend was expecting a text. When she didn't hear from me, he when he didn't hear from me, he found my address and went and talked to my mom, verifying to her that I was indeed not drunk. They went to the station together, and eventually I was taken into the hospital, given a blood test with no alcohol in my system, and released. My mom later went to me up, pick my car up from the police station, and I was told I didn't have any charges. The police officer seemed to think that there must have been a miscommunication with the paper leading to my arrest because a great deal of stress causing a great deal of stress. I'm truly feeling disability has been overlooked and do not understand why I'm being charged, let alone arrested in such a dramatic way. Any advice appreciated? I'm not sure if this is the one you read, Kate, was it? Well, then I'll read a comment. One of the comments says lawyer up. I'd do that too. Another comment says, yeah, get a lawyer. I have a 20-year-old felony and getting a job has been impossible. Fight it with everything you got. Find organizations that help people like you fight these things. It's a good one. Can weed cause a seizure if I quit all of a sudden? Has it happened to you? This is not really a question, but to ask people's experiences. Have you quit suddenly and been fine? If the withdrawals you did affect you, how long did they last? Do you think that weed has helped you, or helped treat your epilepsy? And how do you quit or take a break safely? Thank you. First comment says, recently, every time I quit, I have seizures. They always happen to me in the morning while I'm sleeping, or if I doze off and keep waking up, like in a car or an airplane. Now I'm scared to quit, so I just using vaporizer. I want to quit, so eventually I might try it slowly. Weed causing seizures? No. And when I stopped, it did not either. Yeah, my experiences with weed and seizures, it's been I have a good relationship with weed and seizures, and they seem to be going pretty well together. Yeah, I don't have anything to say bad about weed.
Let Jeff finish this hit and then ask him.
I've stopped several times for a day or two, just out of stupidity, and nothing has changed either way. And uh, as I'm sure you all know, I smoke a lot, uh, and I don't think it affects uh, the epilepsy at all. Um, if anything, it may help it because it helps my headaches. Other than that, I can't see where it has any effect.
Probably just us catamenials. Any extreme change, whether it be, diet or whatever substance. Not to mention the last two times I quit was when, I found out there was a bun in the oven. So 2 weeks, 3 seizures, a ton of clonics. That's pretty much the pattern, it seems like. And I don't even think that was from a dispensary. So I don't know if it was any good.
Uh, did this person mention withdrawal in
No, they
their
did not.
statement?
Oh, they did.
I could have sworn you said.
Yeah, they said
Yeah, I don't.
how did withdrawals affect you?
Sure.
I didn't have any withdrawals.
I don't think it really
I didn't
withdrawal.
have any withdrawal.
Yeah, yeah. Pot doesn't not. I'm not familiar with any withdrawal for marijuana. It's not a drug that has any, or not that I'm familiar with. But yeah, I think most people
I mean, you might get
deal with it
moved.
pretty well.
Yeah.
But some people deal with it negatively, I think.
There's
That's
no
possible.
physical withdrawal.
But
though.
That
There's
could
no
be a
physical
mental
withdrawal.
no.
the physical.
Seems like when I
Yeah,
quit, my
I would.
tolerance goes down, and then if I smoke back in like 3 days, then I can feel how much my tolerance has went down because I'm used to smoking. But
I mean,
the
I don't.
question
I
was,
don't smoke just
go ahead.
because. Oh, no,
No, go
it
ahead.
wasn't anything.
You said you don't smoke because of why?
I don't smoke. I just no real reason. I don't have anything against it or for it. It's just I just don't. I have no reason to. I'm not
Luffy,
pro
did we
or
cut you
con.
off?
It's I actually I I am pro. I'm pro all around. It's just I just don't.
participate.
If I had a ball right here, probably would. I just don't get around to it.
Okay. Lufa, did you say something earlier?
No,
Think- Oh, I thought you were talking before I started talking. Just make sure I didn't cut you off. Um, Says, can this go away on its own? I have a suspected diagnosis for epilepsy, probably TLE, and it all started a year ago. I'm now 21. No real diagnosis because of interactual EEGs were clean. I get lacosamide and it helps take a lot. Take it helps a lot, but I was thinking, can this stuff go away on its own? Is there a possibility of this? Is it this kind of weird? Is this kind of a weird ride? Till now, I have no doctor that trusts me, so I was on lacosamide for 6 weeks and the effect was clear. But then they took it away and now I'm starting it again. But right now, I don't have the seizures, that much, even without the AEDs. Once every 1 to 2 weeks. Before I had them like multiple times a week. So is this just a good phase or how long term helping of the AED? Or is this going to go away on its own? I mean, everything every other week is still too much. But I was wondering about these things. This person can't spell, but I put it together, paraphrasing as much as I could. Um, yeah, it's not going away. I don't suggest stop taking your pills. I guess if you could go from multiple a week down to one every 2 weeks, that's good too. So
Sounds like this person might have some difficulty accepting it, but yeah, it's not going away. Um, but keep up with your meds and yeah, might take a while to accept it, and yeah, just keep on with it. I just can't
I
reinforce
got
that enough.
Go figure.
I got
This
a good one.
Excopri post is saying who's still taking it and is 100% seizure free is like the only post that has no replies.
How old is
Um,
this?
It's only 12 hours, but every other post has somebody saying something.
Right.
All right, go ahead with your good one.
Says witness second seizure of my new onset 18-year-old. Hi, my name is no hi. My 18-year-old has his first seizure in May and again this week after traveling internationally. I didn't witness the first one, but I did the second one. It was a tonic-clonic seizure. It went on for about 2 minutes, generalized convulsing, which slowed down, followed by heavy breathing and frothing at the mouth. He had fallen face down into the laundry, so I was worried about his ability to breathe and tried to move the laundry, at which point he seemed to begin convulsing again, but with larger movements, if that makes any sense. I worry about him hitting his head with larger swings, so I administered Valtoco at about that 2 minute mark. My question is, would that constitute as a second seizure, or is that a combo of having lulls and one seizure? I don't know what I'm supposed to wait 5 minutes, but that's easier said than done, especially when not knowing what constitutes as normal. The question was, does that constitute as a second seizure or two seizures or one seizure? I mean,
It's all about the awareness in between. After that set of what they described as like smaller movements, if he came to, was able to answer any of those, like, who's the president, then that would definitely be two separate. The second one being worse. If there was no awareness in between, then it still could have been a cluster, but not coming to. So just one really long seizure, or you could even call it just two seizures in quick succession that constitutes a cluster. And since the second one was worse, that's what's making me think maybe he didn't regain or it didn't ever really stop, because that's how it usually goes. How about you guys?
Yeah, so. Oh, yeah.
Oh, can I go back to the last question really quick?
Go ahead.
I know they're not going to. I know they're not. These seizures aren't going to go away, but it doesn't mean they can't be controlled. Yeah, I mean, you might be in a bad place right now, but look, I mean, mine are controlled for 6 years, and many do have great success with this. So there's a lot to look forward to. You can have a great life with this. I mean, I just want to throw that out there. I just wanted to come back to that. There's a lot of potential with controlling seizures. So look forward to that.
I'm sure they'll love that response. They're
It's,
gonna be like, "Oh, he makes it look easy."
it doesn't have to be easy, but yeah, I mean, come on, man. Look forward to controlling your seizures, and
I
a
mean,
lot
I'm
of people,
inside of me is easy, yeah, but
well, I'm not. It's not going to go away, but so
that's
many
what I'm
people
saying.
live with this. Yeah,
Like they might
yeah,
say that it might make it sound easy, but you have like a magnet inside of you, so
well,
it's not like it's been
I mean,
easy.
people. Well, no, I'm not living a great life, but I mean, people like. I mean, Brandon's living a pretty good life with this. I mean, people live. They have good jobs. They have good lives. So yeah, a lot of Jeff, you're living well. How many of you are living well?
I'm living all right, I'd say. I'm alive.
Yeah,
I'm okay. I mean, I
yeah.
was living shitty before I got the epilepsy. So, I'm kind of, it hasn't made me that much worse. Uh,
Mm.
I'm on par with where I was before.
Same here.
But without those rough times, we would never really know what these good times are like. So,
That's true.
two sides to every coin.
Since I got it in high school, like I said, it just kind of changed the path of things. I don't think I changed anything that I would have done in my childhood epilepsy in particular, because I was just rebellious, just doing everything like, fuck it, I can do this and I won't hurt myself and stuff like that. I was just trying to live like a
Oh,
normal kid and not caring about my seizures.
oh,
So once I got old enough, I think I started paying attention to it more, because now I get girlfriends and stuff having seizures all over the place and so on. Just doesn't look cool. Um, so yeah, it was
At least you guys
I
can
was
remember, though.
I was in denial. I'm trying to remember. It's coming, bits and pieces. But yeah,
huh?
you don't remember any of it, Kate?
Man, we were in Jersey. One of my aunts showed up, and I smelled a mixture of like Marlboro and I don't even know what it was, but something about meeting her again brought back this like random flash of when I must have been smaller because my perspective was like short. And I'm asking her, hold up, did you have that cabin at that camp that you worked at that had like a yard in the front and it was kind of an L shape and it was a random picture that just kind of popped up. And she said, yeah, that was me. And that's pretty much like the one that helped raise me. So I definitely spent a lot of time with that one. In theory, I should have never forgotten her. So it does come back in bits and pieces.
Mine comes back in bits and pieces sometimes. I remember good memories. Or when someone talks about it, it'll come to me, but eventually I'll let them get to the middle of their story and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what this, and this happened. But I've been in situations where someone had to tell me that's not the truth. I don't know why you remember that story like that. Got to call other people and stuff. It's like, see, that didn't happen. Like, we got to go through all this.
And that's when you just, play the card of, okay, well, yeah, thanks for your time. But I still wouldn't try to believe it that way. If I ever feel like I have a memory come back, I'm sticking by that. And that's probably just a stubborn way of doing it.
I wouldn't
this one
trust
here-
my memory for anything.
Yeah, that's probably a more accurate perspective to take, especially if somebody comes up with a proof. And that would be enough. So this one's
It's
saying I've had
happened a few
epilepsy.
times.
Say that again.
That's happened a few times. I've been shown the proof that I was wrong.
Did you believe him right away, or did it take some practice?
No, I knew my memory was totally gone, so I believed it.
Yeah, maybe it's time to face the facts.
You ever feel like somebody playing with your memory?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Nope.
Evan, you said yes. Elaborate.
I don't know, almost like living in the Truman Show or something. I don't know that movie. Just like everyone else is playing a game on me or something. This is I don't know, or probably a better movie. Um, or another Jim Carrey movie. That other one where he had his memory erased. He was having his memory.
The only Jim
Yeah,
Carrey I remember is The Mask.
Yeah. Eternal Spotlight of the Endless Mind or whatever. I can't, stupid name of the movie. But it was a
Eternal
good movie
Sunshine or
though.
something. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, they could come up with a better name for that movie, but it was a great movie. Yeah, it yeah. It just things you your memory betrays you because it doesn't feel like your instinct. Yeah, you feel something else, but yeah, you're like the yeah, your instincts and your memory are just not in line, and everyone else is saying something else. I don't know how else to better put it.
Yeah, so when I think about people playing with my memory, I go to a story where I remembered something and I was sure I remembered it this time, and I was really sure about it. And then I was told, how do you remember this? You don't even remember this time. This was earlier. And then I was like, okay, now you're playing with me. Now you're telling me I don't remember stuff. And I know I remember this. Yeah. So the things that I do remember sometimes, and I remember it just because something I was doing, or like I was laying down watching TV one time, and that person didn't know I was on the floor on the other side of the table watching TV, and was told basically that I don't remember anything that was on TV because I was asleep. And I was like, no, I was not asleep. And the person was like, yes, you were. You were snoring. And I'm like, no, I watched this whole show with you. You didn't see me, but yeah. So that I've been through that. People playing with me, telling me I don't remember certain stuff, or yeah. or trying to get out of stuff, telling me I don't remember stuff, like remember money and numbers and stuff like that. The money, I write it down. Jeff
Yeah,
said nobody
also-
played with your memory. Um,
I'm sorry?
We're
oh no, you said nobody plays with your memory anymore. You got a
Well,
great wife, so you don't have to worry about that.
I don't get, I mean, I don't get out much, so it's only, my wife, and she's not playing with it. She corrects it. And the few times they get out, it's with a bunch of old friends, and they don't really bring it up.
Okay.
And that's what keeps the peace.
And yeah, life changes when you get older. It's sad to say, but it does. Your life changes.
For the
It's
better, I hope.
things.
Doesn't sound like
Well,
anything
yeah.
something to look forward to.
Well, some things are for the better, and some things are for the much worse. But for the better is that you really don't give a shit. If you don't care if somebody says something stupid. It doesn't affect you at all. It's like, who gives a fuck what anybody thinks?
no, that is
I'm
true.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there to where I stop caring what people think.
Well, that's good because
I'm getting old.
it really is better if you just live to make yourself happy.
That's what I do. Make myself happy. Not trying to impress anybody. Yeah, I've already been told, why don't you do your hair before you get on camera? Because honestly, I don't care. I wake up like this. Just go about the day.
What's wrong with your hair?
Exactly. I thought it was amazing. But
That life isn't about what you think. What was this I heard?
About how you feel?
No, it's not what it's about what others. I'll come back to it. Come back to
Like
me.
remember you by kind of thing?
How you remembered?
Yeah, but it's about what others want you. No. It was funny.
It's about how you want to be seen.
I heard,
How you want to be remembered.
yeah, how others want you
Want
to
you
be
to be
seen. Yeah, I'll come back to it. It was a funny little tidbit.
Anybody else
I'm
like
not gonna
adamantly
remember it, so
against the gravestone burial thing? Anybody else really just kind of see that as a waste?
Yeah,
what you mean?
I'm not doing that.
ashes.
Yeah, the whole ceremony, and I mean ceremony, that's up to them, but the gravestone, no, not worth it. Casket, gravestone, that whole thing.
just
No,
throw me in the
Cremation urn
trash.
if you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, for a grave robber to come get me? No, thank you.
And they call like incessantly. I
Well,
hear from those places all the time. Annoying.
they're expensive. That's just expensive.
Yeah, my grandmother, she paid for her funeral before she passed. She picked out her casket. It was pink. She picked out to be buried on top of her husband. Yeah, so they kind of got one headstone. It's beautiful.
But for that generation, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It just feels like that kind of thing just isn't done anymore.
That was my great grandma. So yeah, she must have paid for her funeral decades back, and it was probably way cheaper. So yeah, she had a nice casket, nice funeral. Yeah, the guy who came to pick her up, he basically said he's been waiting. He had the casket like at the shop because he was told she got sicker earlier. He was basically like, okay, yeah, I heard she wasn't doing so well. Basically is what he said. And yeah, like all right, this. But yeah, headstone, I don't necessarily want it. I mean, it looks good. It's all pretty and stuff, but yeah, it's a waste of money. For that big stone and all that stuff. I want to be poured in the ocean or something. I'm also an organ donor, so
To be mixed with my cat's ashes. So
I
that
kind of like the off a mountain, like off into the wind kind of thing. But then again, I mean, it's up to family. They could take some in the water, some off the mountaintop, whatever.
you can go to space.
Yeah, it probably costs money too.
I mean, it's a lot of money, but you can have your ashes taken to space, and you can either have them like spread there or like you come back. It's more money to have them left there, but which I don't know why, but
That just sounds like a scam to me right now.
it's like if
How
I want
many
to go to
people?
space, I'm gonna go while I'm alive.
NASA was like, I'm coming in on the funeral scheme. I'm making money in that area because that's a big market. Everyone dies, so you're guaranteed to make money in that market.
And that's the kind of thing that people will prepay for.
That's why I gotta start making brand name caskets.
You know?
Gucci.
So I got something here. Says struggling to accept reality. Hey, epilepsy community, I'm happy to have found you. I started having seizures late last year when I was 33 years old. They have always been tonic-clonic, around 1 minute long. Luckily, even from the beginning, I always went to lie down because at first it felt like I was just going to pass out. It was about 10 months ago, 10 months since I was diagnosed, and I probably had about 14 of those seizures. I've had a terrible time with medication making me feel worse than the epilepsy, but I always just feel like it's not real. Like they've made some mistake and I don't actually have real epilepsy. And I'm like never going to have a seizure again after the last one. I keep thinking there must be a mix up and this is just temporary. I really struggle with accepting it, especially because I get the same response every time. You just randomly got epilepsy at 33. Yes, I did, and trust me, I didn't choose it. Can anyone relate to this? Having a hard time coming to grips with your diagnosis. Love to hear all the great experiences. Yeah, I was a child. I didn't have to come to terms with it. I was told I had it and sent on my way. My mother picked up my prescription and I took pills ever since.
I was in the denial for quite a while. And then one day I said, that's enough. And I found you guys and started learning.
You know, all trauma dumped together. Kate, Lufa, how'd you guys come to terms with this? How'd you come? It's really been hard to grasp. How have you come to terms with grips in your diagnosis?
Yeah, it's not about me. I just have to stay healthy enough to, get them through it. And I mean, now it's not such a simple perspective, but that's what got me through it initially. Don't worry about yourself so much. Just keep your shit together to take care of them.
Someone says, will I give up on reading? Oh, go ahead. Somebody talking? Oh, Lufa, go ahead.
I just need my family to come to terms with it. It would make it a lot easier for me if my family could accept that I have epilepsy. But they don't. They don't want to. They just pretend they do. They just don't want to accept it. They want me to be healthy. But that's not the reality. Shame.
Okay. So one says, will I give up on reading long books? Amnesia, memory loss. I love to read books, typically 100 books a year. Midsummer, I picked up War and Peace and read 10% of the first DX Transient Global Amnesia episode. I restarted it, and about a month later, 15% in, I had another DX Transient Global Amnesia episode, forgetting most of the plot again. November, I began again. for the third time. I made it to part 3, 20% in, and had my first grand mal seizure. I have vague recollections of the plot structure, but really hazy on the structure. My spouse keeps telling me to stop trying and move on to another book, which would really feel defeated. Is this normal? I don't say you give up on reading books. Some people are worse than the others. Can't let someone tell you stop reading books if you like reading. Figure out some way to do it. If it's your memory, audiobooks, try that. Audiobooks. So you can
They
listen.
can write down notes as they go through the story, like write down notes or like a sub like thing to the plot, like sum up the plot so that when they forget, like they can read back and be like, right, this is why the 17-year-old is getting with the dragon.
Yeah, if this one's really determined to finish that book in particular, then maybe that's how they're gonna have to get through it. And in the future, pick your battles. Maybe a 100-page book is still a good story. You don't have to get all those, like, 10-pound stories that take weeks
Manga,
and
manga,
definitely get complicated. What do you say?
manga can be
There
nice
you go.
as those are the pictures can help you visualize it. If you have a hard time, it can help you memorize
Yeah,
it.
but they're far from comics. They
Yeah,
still have a
for
deep
me,
story.
if I were to read like a book, I would like to read it and listen at the same time. So I would agree with what Pookie said with the audio books because it's easier for me to remember and retain information if I can hear it. If I'm just reading it, then it's getting lost. That's lost media.
Yeah, listen to the wife and at least try other ways to keep the peace.
Yeah, dude, everyone learns differently.
Also with manga, if you're keeping up with it like weekly, a lot of times they get released as like weekly comics. So it's easier to sort of take it slower. And you can reread it, a few times without feeling like, oh, I just had to reread, four or like, I don't know, like 10 pages of stuff. It's like, no, this will take me 5 minutes to sort of scroll through again and get, the context and remember.
Yeah, because with manga, a lot of what you're getting is the reaction stuff, and which in a novel, there a lot of what's in a novel is them explaining the reaction, and so that
You
you
get
have
to actually see the reaction.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like taking like I always say I like picture books because um I like to see like what the like I understand some people like to get their own feeling out of it and kind of imagine it for themselves. But that's how I imagine, books if I'm listening to them. But with like manga and stuff, like I can just see that stuff and then it can save me the energy of having to while at the same time read it.
Extrapolate the vision from
It
the
makes
work.
it makes it a lot easier on the mind.
There is a great app. It's called Webtoons. Like if any of you are ever interested in reading like comics, it's a Korean app, but all the comics are in English, and or whatever you set it to, and it's all completely free, and there's thousands of different manhwa, which is Korean manga, basically. And yeah, it's like very entertaining because there's so many different things to go through, I guess. Yeah.
How long you been on that? How long you been like connected with that site?
I started reading this manhwa called Windbreaker.
Webtoons has been around for a while.
Yeah, Webtoons, yeah, it's been around. It's like, yeah, it's very well established.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
you
just
can,
making sure.
It's not talked about enough. It's a really good app.
Oh, okay, good. you hear a lot about apps, the foreign apps, that give you scams and hackers and stuff of that sort. So I'm just making sure you guys been through this where I sign up for something and my phone starts calling my mom and shit like that. You know what I mean?
No, it's nothing like that. It's a totally legit app.
And that's another reason to get that high school checking account. So any subscriptions that we do give into now go on her card. And she might learn those lessons. So do your research for sure.
You're gonna learn when it says declined.
Yeah, I've been using it for
Transaction history is like a big fucking deal to her now, and that's beautiful.
So here, thoughts on this symptom. I'm new around here. Late last year, I experienced my first focal seizure and impaired awareness, and have had 3 more since then. These occur seconds after I have what I guess is my aura, which is for me is a massive wave of deja vu anxiety. I become absolutely fixated on that deja vu and the fake memories that come with it, leading to the seizure. What I want to know is whether another thing is going on in my brain. Is the symptom of epilepsy or something that anyone else experienced? I have constant fleeting thoughts and sometimes feelings. I have had this for many years, and I am unsure if it's related to the epilepsy, as there are some parallels with my aura. I will be reading something or in a conversation, and my brain will suddenly light up and link the conversation to another idea, but it always happens way too fast for me to process it. I then get stuck wondering what it was and become quite frustrated, much like a seizure, but on a way familiar scale. Um, this happens countless times per day and been worse has been worse since my first seizure. The difference is that these thoughts are usually about real life and just disappear. I lose train of thought, whereas my seizures involve completely made up dreams. Does anyone else experience this, or is this completely unrelated to epilepsy? Auras and stuff after the aura sounds like seizures. You might be in denial about having seizures when you're actually having seizures, and you don't want to think it's a seizure, of course. Been there. I have not experienced that. I've experienced being in denial, but yeah, if I feel like I haven't had a seizure, I usually just take it as it is. You had a seizure, and let's go on about the day. Thoughts on their symptoms? No thoughts on the symptoms?
feel like I talk too much, so I'm gonna let other people take over on this one.
Right. You don't talk too much. You talk the perfect amount.
I chime in so much. Come on, I talk a lot.
That's what I need, though. I need someone to know what is going on with themselves because Brandon knows. Brandon knows what's going on with this person, and Brandon doesn't give you the juice because he feels like he's gave too much juice today already.
And you're not to mention you're a professional educator. That's like well known to any regular. So you can't get out of this one.
I was never a talker.
I'll let someone
I never
chime
talked
in,
a lot.
but I need a summary.
Say that again.
But you know, like I said, I never talked a lot, but in my head, my thoughts went a million miles an hour. But that stopped recently. Like I just can't get anything going. As of like the past 5 or 6 years, everything just kind of stopped. I think it was the benzos that did that. I started doing a clobazam, and now like I could just basically stare at a wall all day, and I miss the racing mind. You know, I just that was fun. I would walk a lot. I would just spin in a circle. I would walk around tables and do stuff, and no, it was not like stuff. It was just the racing mind. Just the just the chattering in my head was fun. It was like having, imaginary friends that just word jumble in my head. And it was, but, it never went anywhere. It was just what I'm doing now, just words that just aren't going anywhere. But now it's just silence in my head. And
I wish I had silence.
it's frustrating. Yeah.
So you get
Well,
both ends of the
yeah.
spectrum there.
I,
You got people who want silence, and you got people who miss the silence.
Well, there's always too much of anything. Like too much of silence can drive someone crazy, and too much of noise can. You need a balance. So, you know, too much of anything is overdoing it. There's love bombing. There's, you can get overexcited. You can get over jealous. You can get, too much or too little of anything can really mess with your psyche and mess with how you perceive things or react to things or how you feel. So it really just depends on who you are, how you are, and if you're getting a balanced amount for your personality and how your personality is.
I mean,
well, I
I
say I dealt
I
with it pretty well.
I think I mentioned it like last week or something about because there was a question about having a seizure based on a song or like a frequency. I was like, well, no, it has been documented that the like sound frequencies can affect stuff. The military uses it for torture, but like um it, at the same time, like prisons and stuff also use solitary confinement, and
Yeah,
then there's
when
still the like that's a
interrogation,
form of torture, and then you've got the like constant noise like form of torture. So yeah, it's like you need a balance. Too much of
yeah.
one thing is just too much.
Well, when you see a lot of interrogations between police officers and the oftentimes the one being investigated, they leave them in a specific type of room, no windows. Sometimes they'll have the clock wrong, or so that the clock moves slower than it's supposed to. Um, these are all mental mind tricks to get them kind of pumped up and anxious, and it's playing, it's messing with their psyche, and they leave them in there by themselves with their thoughts before they say anything, so that they start to overthink. um, and another thing too is humans are naturally social creatures, so unless you're an introvert, but
Or a
uh,
psychopath.
yeah. But if you have somebody cooped up by themselves for an extended amount of time, it leads to the mind itself starting to go crazy, and you can start to hallucinate and to hear things, and even if you're getting enough sleep, or just by being alone can cause somebody who has gone from normal everyday socialization and the way that the world kind of works to isolation, which is one of the worst forms of human torture because it is long lasting, and then that person needs to learn how to live with themselves and just themselves, and it's a very slow game, and then usually if that person can get out of that isolation, they're never going to get out of that isolation. They're always trapped, isolated in their head because of uh, the kind of long-term effects that it leaves on the brain.
All right. It says first seizure, feeling alone. I've been debating whether or not I should post here, but I thought maybe I could hear some similar stories. On May 2nd, after leaving my brother's apartment with my mom, I got into a car accident due to what was determined to be a seizure. I don't remember anything, but my mom said my face went blank and I couldn't hear her. And then we hit the back of another vehicle at the stoplight. I had bruises and suffered broken ribs and hematoma on her thigh. We were both taken to the hospital where we spent several days trying to determine what might be the cause of this. They found an encephalocele, and I was put on Vimpat and told to stop taking the Diamox. I was on for my IIH. I met with my regular neurologist 3 days later, and she doesn't believe the encephalocele caused it, stating that she believes it might have happened for several reasons, including me being metabolic acidosis from the Diamox. I'm having even more testing done, including a heart monitor to make sure it isn't related, and an ambulatory EEG. Obviously, I cannot drive for now, and I'm struggling with that as I live in a very rural area and my mom already doesn't drive. How do you guys get through this? How do you deal with the loneliness, having to rely on the schedule of others to live your life? My depression is already pretty bad before this, and now I just don't know what to do. What do I do? What you do is I found hobbies. I got some paint here, and for some reason, I love that I have paint, and I don't always want to paint, but I love that I have paint for some reason. It's a thing like I feel like I'm doing something, like I have the opportunity to do something, and it's just looking at me. But I have so much paint, you guys, so many different shape brushes and all kinds of stuff. And yeah,
We
do
need
not
to
paint
see
very
the
often.
poopy artwork.
I do things that kind of just make no sense, and yeah, I got that. That's going for me. Like I have this piece of cardboard, and I was wondering, why do I have this Amazon box? I'm not doing anything with it. So I took one flat part, and then I took everything out of the garbage, and I took pieces off of everything, and I stuck it to there. And yeah, literally, you guys would be like, "You serious?" And yes. Um,
My girlfriend works at an art museum. She's
so
probably seen something similar.
yeah, that's it. Just random papers that I had in the recycling bin in the trash. Newspapers
Hang
have been sitting there.
hang on.
Just
Keep that up 1 sec. Linda.
that's not even all of it. I need to back up.
Okay,
Amazing, right?
hang on. I wanted to see this. The
Check
videos.
this out. One of the best things on earth.
Something Poogie made. I was like, yeah.
I thought it was quite interesting, although it was just something I did because I was bored. Everything in the recycling bin, the papers and everything came out to make this. Then afterwards, it was like, I don't know what to do with it. So sitting here against the wall on my desk. Yeah, like I said, I had no reason for it. I just was like, this Amazon box has to do something for me. And it's done that. So
Sorry, I wasted the time. I don't
it's all right. Yeah, so there's that. And then, yeah, there's other random things I have in here somewhere, a little bit of everywhere. Things that can be useful too. So not just everything is just useless. But a lot of things I just throw together because I'm bored. So there's that. The feeling alone part, you guys. How do you not feel alone? Because most of us are alone, I've noticed. Except Jeff. Jeff's the only one not alone. Oh yeah, and Brandon's not alone either.
I was just about to be like, Micro.
Wait a second, I'm alone a good deal of the time. I'm not alone now. But for the
That's
last
true.
year I was alone. Almost all year. And I'll be back to being alone in October.
And I actually like my weekends are the only time I'm that Linda's here with me. So during the week, like if I'm not at work, I'm alone. Yeah.
So I'm sure you had a period where you were like, is this ever gonna get any better?
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. And there was several years where I was just alone anyway, with epilepsy, and yeah, it was just sort of I took every day by day, but I had no sort of hopes for each day. It was sort of like, will I make it? We'll see.
Right. Kevin, how'd you go about that? The depression. How'd you get out of that slump?
I never got out of the slump.
Oh, lucky you. Never? You never been depressed
No.
about your epilepsy?
Or did
Oh,
you get
oh,
depressed and never came out?
I said it. I was always depressed about it. I never
Oh,
got out of it. I was fine until
That's
like
what I thought that you
high
had said.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I never got out of the slump. You know, I was fine until like college, and then I just started like drinking, and yeah, it was fine. I could at least be drunk and not care about it for a little bit.
sounds like
Now I'm
fun.
like one of those losers in AA who talk about their fucking problems all the time, and oh, now I'm sober and I could just sit and hang out with my fucking cat all the time and play the guitar and go to
Jeff
church all the
got
time and
cat
oh look at
duty. That
me.
was perfect.
That sounds like Brandon.
What?
You can play with my cat and my guitar. You just
Oh,
described Brandon.
No,
well,
no offense.
cat guitar
All white
and a little bit of some alky.
all white
He's
dudes
just
have a
named
guitar. I
Brandon.
have one. I have one over there. I got like three guitars over there, so we're all
I have two.
cool.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just inevitable. White guys and acoustic guitars.
I don't know where I got it from. It's just there. Where did it come from? I don't
You just got a guitar and you don't even know where it came from? How cool is that?
know. And a ukulele. What what the hell? I don't know.
I wish I just had a closet with random guitars and instruments.
It's a weird
But now I got the
situation where you just end up with instruments, but it's fun when you look at all the things that you have and you're like, oh hell yeah, I can make use of all this. Like, okay, I'm gonna give everyone hang on. I am holding the space bar to unmute myself, but I'm gonna actually unmute myself so I can show the room that I'm in right now. Hang on. Okay. So I have accumulated so many bike parts
Oh,
and
you're a real biker man.
it's it's a little the entire room is a bike shop basically, and also a desk, because it was meant to also be a home office, but clearly the bike shop took over a little bit. I have
Nothing
7
wrong
bikes
with
now,
that.
guys. I have 7 bikes.
Do you like switch it up every other day?
For the most part, I ride the the like I have like my commuter one, which has like a rack on the front with a big bag that I can, sort of. Oh, James, you and I got to talk, buddy. Don't worry, we'll talk. Um, yeah, I have my primary one that has a rack on the front with a big bag that is like I don't want to have a backpack, so I use that one. But I recently got the that mini velo that I sent a picture of to the chat, being like, I got a new bike. Um, and oh yeah, also James, my education job that I do is I teach bike safety to 1,500 kids a year. So like my job is bikes, bikes, bikes.
Right, 1,500 bikes.
It, yeah, yeah, I know it. Yeah, but what was I saying? Shit. Yeah. So I have my like nicer ones that I hold off on using for the nice days where I'm not worried about like having anything on me, but I have my commuter ones that I use more often, sort of thing. So I swap off, but it's more like the day depending.
I think it's common in like big cities and stuff in certain states, but if you have a nice bike, that bitch is gonna get stolen in a
Yeah,
heartbeat. Unless you got it like locked in the house, on a chain in the house, locked up in the house, someone's gonna steal that shit.
I live at the end of a dead end, and there was one morning where I walked outside um to go to work, and I knew I was like, oh, I left my bike out front. I locked it up, and then I looked on the table, and my lock was sitting right there. And I went downstairs, and my bike was still leaned up against the side of my building because I live at the end of a dead end. I got so lucky. I left my bike unlocked all night, and it is a one of five.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is really luck. Because even in good neighborhoods, people will take your bike.
and I
Even
do not live in a good neighborhood.
yeah, even in upscale neighborhoods, medium, anywhere, people will take a bike if they need to.
Yeah, I see it all the
Or
time.
one.
Oh yeah, they got things that can cut through steel. Even the club on a car, they can cut through that, no problem. It's
It's
amazing.
if you give
Um,
someone enough time, they they will get through it. There's this guy on YouTube. He's the what is it? It's the lockpick lawyer. I can't remember his full what his YouTube name is. But he basically does reviews of locks, and how easy or hard it is to cut through them or like pick them or whatever. Um, and he took one of the best bike locks in the world. It's the kryptonite forget about it, spelled like you would say it if you lived in New York. Forget about it.
no,
Yeah,
oh,
because it's supposed
okay.
to be like the you will not be able to get the like this thing off. Yeah, no, he cut through it in like a minute or something with the right tool. He
Yeah, yeah, I would imagine. I mean, they have just things that can cut through these things.
oh, I
It's
mean,
not a
yeah,
matter of yeah,
you give someone an acetylene torch, they're gonna be able to break through a bank vault. You know what I mean? Like a bike lock is nothing.
yeah. They basically have the jaws of life combined down to like very small
Yeah.
things that can chop through it like through butter. Yeah, it's no problem.
Oh yeah, and I guess for the person
It's
who was looking.
it's vigilance. You just gotta
you just got to keep your eyes out, and it's a unfortunate situation, but yeah, my sister drives a bike all through Center City and center of our city. It's weird how the city's worked out, but yeah, she drives a bike all through there, and she says she can't can't leave it alone for too long. And she also uses the rent bikes. You can rent bikes, and
Yeah, a lot of
that
cities
work.
have
Those
the
are
spin bikes sort of thing. I
yeah,
don't, yeah.
they're very good. Those work out well.
They're good as long as the people who are using them are conscientious, I think. Because a lot of times people don't realize how fast they can go. Um, and that's something that people with epilepsy should like consider if they want to use a rental bike, is these things are
Mhm.
kind of like motorized vehicles, where if you're just using, and I'm going to say it this way, which is funny, an acoustic bike, as opposed to an electric, um, you know, if you're tired or you're not feeling good, you won't be going fast. So if you do hit someone or hit something, it's not going to cause as much damage. But the electric bikes, it's like those things are still going to be going fast no matter how you're feeling. So I don't know, just keep that in mind.
That is my one concern about bikes is my motor skills aren't as great as, they when I was like a teenager. When I was diagnosed when I was 12 and I still rode bikes and I had no problem with, seizures when I was then. But now I'm a little older and like coordination's not what it was. And I'm just a little concerned that you know, uh, I'll, I saw this guy driving a motorized scooter. He was going like 40 miles an hour.
Those things freak me out
I
because
don't know if I could.
they're in a
They do.
legal
Yeah,
gray
they are
area.
scary.
Well, and they're also in a legal gray area because in the eyes of the law, under federal law, bicycles are considered a vehicle, just like a car, truck, motorcycle, everything else, and so like we are like obligated to follow all the same rules, just like all those vehicles on the road. Um, but the word scooter is not mentioned in the law. So they technically can kind of like they get free reign. They can ride on the sidewalk, no problem. They can ride in the street, no problem. Bicycles should be on the street, um, it, following all the rules of the road. But like scooters, like they just do whatever they want. And it becomes a problem because then people just look at it as like oh, you're a person on something that's, not a car, not a motorcycle, you're not walking, you're just like fucking up my time here, And it's like, no,
Yeah,
th those people are actually kind of assholes. Not everyone who drives a scooter or rides a bike is an asshole.
yeah, but there's a ton of them, and some of them go really fast, and some of them just are they go like 5 miles an hour, and some of them they vary in speed so much, and it's
There's also been a huge
you're
influx
right.
of,
The jurisdiction of that is
yeah,
impossible to govern over.
and
Yeah,
there's been a huge influx of people using them for delivery purpose, like Uber Eats and DoorDash
right.
deliveries. So like the people who are using them for that, it's like, you know, oh, one thing on their mind: delivery, 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 delivery. Like they're not really trying to focus on safety or time. Um, or no, they are only focusing on time, I should say. not safety.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah,
What?
it when you get that situation where it's like, okay,
Dude
you're
dropped my
causing a problem
pizza.
for everybody.
So Brandon,
Brandon,
you said the bikes are made for the streets, but like in my under my circumstances, um, is it cool that I'm on the sidewalk?
So it is only illegal to ride on the sidewalk in certain places. You need to look it up per your area. I know for a fact that New York City, it's illegal. Newport, Rhode Island, which is like that's where that's the state I'm in, so I know that one for sure. Um, you can't ride on the sidewalk. It is illegal. You will get a fine, but it's just because of the amount of like foot traffic. They don't want people riding through people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Brandon, do
So
you know
you
anything about?
can, but you have to just keep in mind the speed. Like you can't go as fast as like you can on the sidewalk because what's it called? A sidewalk.
Yeah.
So we have to just
That's
think of
actually
it that way.
a
Or
huge
I can
problem
do
in
like,
the city right now.
What was that?
It's a huge problem right now in Philadelphia because people actually are getting hit by cars in what I call it's called Center City, in the Center City area. And yeah, people are the bike drivers are increasing by a huge amount, and they're fighting for their right to, you know, have uh to just simply exist. They want to drive
I
their
know a few
bikes,
folks.
and
Yeah, I know a few cyclists in Philly. Yeah.
yeah,
Brandon, do
and
you
they want their bike lanes, and people are not obeying that those lanes. They're parking their cars in the lanes. Yeah, it's very difficult to abide
What
with these
what were
people
you
with car people.
what were you trying to say, Jeff? I'm so sorry. You were definitely trying to say something. I don't want you to feel like you got cut off.
uh no, I was just trying to ask you if you know anything about electric trikes.
I have seen those. Yes, they are a thing. And honestly, if you're worried about balance, a trike is a great option. A lot of times they already come kind of with a trailer attached too,
Right.
which is great because it's like, oh, all the storage that I could possibly need already attached. Fuck yeah. So yeah, I have seen those, and if you're looking to get one, I recommend it.
Okay. Because I was thinking about going to the local supermarket, which is 5 minutes away.
Oh,
Um,
James is saying he has four of them.
oh, really?
I throw 'em.
Good luck. In the desert, they have bike lanes, and there's still hit and runs. Uh, the people that are killing the bikers.
Yeah, well, and a lot of times in certain areas, it comes down to the mindset of the drivers, where they will look at a cyclist as even if you're nowhere near being like a problem for them, they look at you as like you're in my way. It's like,
Right. You're
no,
an
there are
impediment.
two lanes fully open that you can use to go around me, but you have a problem with the fact that I'm using, well, so technically by law, you should be allowed 6 feet from the edge of the road to where the car passes you. So
Hmm.
you get 6 feet, which is not that's nothing. When you really think about how wide a road is, it's like, why are you throwing a fit over my 6 feet?
You know, I walk in a development here, or when I'm in the desert, and I use a walker, and I'm right close to the curb, and still
Hmm.
cars stop and give me a hassle.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't
And
you on the sidewalk?
Well, and then you've got the like parts of the country where you can go like 40 miles and not see a fucking sidewalk anywhere.
Right,
It's
exactly.
like, what sidewalk?
Exactly. That's one of the reasons why my ex-wife and I moved to Woodstock. There were no sidewalks. It was all dirt when we moved in.
You didn't move there for the music and the drugs?
No, we moved after the music. Well, the drugs were still there, but we moved after the music. But the drugs were always there.
Oh yeah. It's okay. We all love the drugs.
Yeah. And the
We take them
musicians
every
were
day.
there.
We
Yeah,
take drugs every day, right?
that's right. Right.
The 60s and the 70s were the good days where everyone was walking around just putting some up their nose. Beautiful
Yep.
days. Wasn't nobody getting putting fentanyl in nothing. People were living their best life. It was just freely used everywhere. It was the thing.
Pokey, so earlier today you were the only male surrounded by a bunch of females, and
Hey,
now Lufa is the only female surrounded by a bunch of males.
Lufa's great. You guys got to watch that one-on-one we had. It was amazing.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Sunday.
Sunday.
I will never watch it. I don't like to watch myself.
You look amazing on camera. And then you're not on camera a lot, so you're like cleaning up and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say sorry about that. I just, like this whole time y'all been talking, I've been cleaning still because I just need to keep my mind occupied. So I'm always doing something. So I just gotta keep doing something. And if
It's
it's
all right.
got some true crime shit playing in the background, and then it's hard for me to like hear, so it's easier for me to like clean and hear. Yeah. And then I just fed the cat. Tony ate just way too fucking fast, so he's gonna end up throwing up, which is gonna be a pain in my ass. But
Yeah, the gray boy in my lap right now, he's guilty of that all the time. Oh, he will
slow
absolutely
down,
fly through his food and then puke
chill.
all of it up.
Well, and he's not allowed to have dry food because of how he eats and because he can't digest it. So
Same.
he can only have his wet food, which means like he doesn't get the same amount of nutrients as the girls who can have dry food throughout the day, but they prefer dry food. But I think it's just a boy thing. I think it's just a boy cat thing. But he is, and in the morning when he's ready to eat and I haven't woken up yet, he makes sure that his paw is in my face, letting me
Have
know.
you ever gotten a claw in your lip?
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, that's what I imagine the piercing would feel like, but 10 times worse because it just
Yeah,
stays.
I'm talking about you, dummy. Yes, you. Sorry.
Yeah. And then he's sassy. He's so sassy.
Mm. Do you have a twin brother? I
Me?
think you have a. I'm
Oh,
talking.
I was gonna say I'm my only child.
No, I'm talking to my cat. I'm asking if he has a twin brother.
We have twin cats, Hippo and Squirrel.
Love your
Okay,
paw.
so that one here
Oh,
that Pete sent
wait,
me.
actually, hang on, Pookie. Before you move on, did my did the seizure alert dog question get brought up?
No, it didn't. I was waiting for you to do it yourself.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to run like immediately after like posting that I wanted it brought up, and I didn't realize it. But yeah, no, my girlfriend pointed out that like technically we're all eligible for like a service dog. Um, and like I don't know, I don't know anybody with epilepsy that we've met in the chats, in the streams, anything, um, who has a seizure alert dog. Would like, what do you guys think about that? Would you get one?
Kate has one.
Kate
Yeah.
has one?
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
have not
mean,
met.
it's not stopping seizures.
Well, no, it's not
but
stopping, but like I don't know. I guess
yeah, I think when she had a seizure, she just didn't have it with her. But yeah, she is a dog.
okay.
I'd get one just to get a dog.
I'll not get one because I don't want to take care of an animal. I do
That was
not.
that was
And
my thing where
you've
I'm like, yeah, you get a free dog, but it's not really a free dog if you have to take care of it and walk it. And if I have to wake up early to walk the dog, then that's a whole other thing that's going to affect my epilepsy. Like,
We used to have
Right.
a Mastiff. He was a great dog. Such a great dog. We were taking care of him for a friend of mine whose aunt who was incarcerated
mm,
for some alleged things. But then she got the dog back, and it was really sad because we had him for like 4 years.
mm. Kevin, what do you think about the getting a seizure alert dog?
I don't like dogs.
Okay,
I'm
that's
not a
fair.
dog or cat person. But
So you don't
if it works,
you don't
if
like
it
this
works
face
for,
right here? You don't like this face?
I have no opinion. It does not. It does not bring anything up in me.
Okay.
Uh, uh, I like it. I like something that serves a purpose. And we have a cat because we have this house is like 100 years old, and tons of mice
Oh,
come up through the floors, and my cats are great for getting rid of mice. So
just having a cat,
yeah,
the smell of like the cat in the house deterred mice. Yeah, I haven't seen a mouse in like 4 years.
yeah, they're great for that. So we keep a cat around. They're excellent for getting rid of mice.
I
How
haven't
house
seen.
yeah, but they don't get rid of rats. We don't. There's no rats around here. They're in the city down there, but uh, I don't know. I'm getting off on a tangent. Go proceed.
Rick, what do you got?
About what?
So would
Um,
you be willing or like open to getting a seizure alert dog? And if you are, why don't you already, I guess?
So we do have 3 dogs in the house, so I don't know if I want to bring another one in. But I could maybe train a couple of them. So I know that so one of the dogs, he does get anxious when I'm out of it. So I guess he kind of is an alert dog. But he also gets anxious when I just walk in the room too sometimes. So that's kind of hard to say. But yeah, I guess yes, I would if I didn't have any other dogs, and I guess I probably should train these guys because I never thought of that.
Yeah, I had not even like the thought hadn't even crossed my mind about seizure alert dogs until a few days ago when my girlfriend brought it up. She was like, why have you never mentioned this?" And I was like, "Huh, I don't know. That's a good question though." Jeff, how
Uh,
about you?
um,
It's like most things in my life, it's complicated.
Mm,
When I was in the desert, I wanted to get a dog, not necessarily a seizure alert dog, but just any dog.
mhm.
And the concerns were that there are a great many days that I'm not able to take care of it. And I mean, we have a cat here in Pennsylvania uh, who I adore, and I wanted to get. If I couldn't get a dog, I wanted a cat. Uh, but the same concern. It was just if I had to come home back to PA, as I did, our cat here doesn't particularly care for other cats,
Yeah.
so it would have been a problem. Um, but I would still love to get a dog, um, and maybe one day I'll win that war.
Yeah, that that makes sense. Also, thank you, James, for chatting in your response because I was just about to ask you. You were like the next one on the docket, but you were ahead of me. Thank you so much.
Um, the icebreaker. Did I ask you the icebreaker, Kevin and Brandon? I mean, Brandon.
I was here earlier, remember? Yeah, you got me with the icebreaker hours ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Rick,
actually,
the
yeah,
icebreaker.
Kevin too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
think I think you got me.
Yeah, I meant to say Brandon first, but also Rick was what was it?
Oh, I don't know if Rick got it. Yeah, sorry.
I was
Yeah,
here
Rick got it.
earlier, but I did not get the icebreaker.
What would be your response when you're saying something and someone says, "So what?"
Oh, that's kind of my generation thing where we say so what or whatever. So that's kind of normal speak. Um, I guess it depends on the context. Like if I'm talking about like, hey, I had a seizure yesterday and got to the ER and somebody says, so what? I'd probably not be happy about that. But if somebody said, you know, if I said, hey, I didn't really like that slice of pizza, and somebody said, so what? So I guess it really depends on the context.
Yeah.
So or
Rick,
or we th
you and I had the exact same answer to a T. I mean, like wording slightly off, but to a T the same.
You guys are the vets right here.
and East Coast, I think, does it too.
No, I mean Kevin, Brandon, and Rick. You guys were all the first time I was here. You guys were here, first day. Yeah, let me move forward. Someone said general advice, struggling to adjust. 31-year-old. I just diagnosed with epilepsy on Tuesday after my first seizure last Thursday. So it's been a big week for me coming to terms with this and figuring out how my life is going to change moving forward. The main thing I'm struggling with is getting around. I drive to work 4 days a week, and on my days off, I'm the main errand runner between my husband and I. So figuring out a new normal for that proving is proving tough. So far, I've been Ubering to and from work and depending on other people to drive me Instacart or for groceries. I hate Ubering, and I feel like every every other one is gonna get something who clearly smokes cigarettes in their car, which I'm really sensitive to. Public transport isn't a great option. It would end up taking me like 4 times long to get where I need to go. And honestly, I'm not willing to lose that much time out of my day towards traveling. That being said, I think Uber is the easiest option and looks like the least expensive. But does anyone have any experience making deals with private drivers or anything? Where do they give them a schedule and go to and from work? If so, how do you set that up separately? I know there's a lot of other people have experienced the same sort of brain fog and feeling off of Kepra after certain days. Uh, my job is pretty intense, and I have days with nonstop appointments where my ability to think quickly, react quickly, and upbeat, and on all the time is pretty vital. And having successful appointments, I was able to take a few days off, so I've only had one appointment today so far, but it was exhausting, and I'm really, really anxious and about to have to do this all the time now. Do people really feel that they did actually they did actually adjust after being on Kepra and that they were able to feel more normal after a few weeks? I'm anxious that I have to make new accommodations at work if I don't adjust to this. And I don't know, I don't want to, I don't want to need a person if I don't have to be. I know this part of me is adjusting to being someone with a disability now, but in terms of avoiding people treating me differently, I really like to have some hope that this will get better. General advice for someone struggling in the beginning. Uh, you're gonna have to make those accommodations for work. unfortunately, you're gonna have to figure something out about getting to work, either Ubering or calling somebody. That's gonna have to happen because
Right.
either you're gonna be disappointed about the 4 hour ride to get there. I mean, yeah. So prepare. It's gonna get rough. Prepare for the rough because it's coming.
Yeah, that's where neighbors and friends come in handy, especially like, if you could do chores, if you could mow somebody's lawn and they give you rides, or, you know, find somebody at work. Sometimes there's like a carpool thing. I guess it depends on what type of job. I always worked mostly office jobs, so there's always people who could carpool, or people who can, pitch in for rides, back and forth, things like that. But yeah, I guess it depends on where this person lives. There might be Uber or Lyft discounts. Um, they could get the doctor to, mention that they're disabled, or use some type of thing where there's different states, different counties, different areas that have different help. So it really depends on where they're at. And like I said, try to work it out where they do chores, they do stuff, and they can get rides. I know it's rough. I'm fortunate because my wife can drive me places, but I could also imagine there's no mass transit where I am, so I would be in the same position where I'd have to Uber, Lyft, or try to arrange stuff.
Kevin, you got anything for that?
Adjusting to it as an adult, um, oh, that's a very immediate change. And I've always depended on others. So, I mean, my dependence was always over time and so slow, and my evolution uh, with this disorder has been over time. I can't imagine what it's like to just be an adult and have all these um, things taken away from you. That must be a completely different change for you. Uh, have your license one day taken away. Have your freedoms one day taken away. Um, but you're going to have to build these networks that we all depend on, like friends and family, and I have to depend on my family for these things. But yes, you're going to have to over time, or so very suddenly, build networks with maybe coworkers to get to work, or I don't know, ride share, something like that. You know, it's going to be a change, but I mean, best of luck with that, and good fortune with that.
Or you could do like Brandon, get you a bike.
Oh, yeah, right. It depends how far you live from work. Bike's always a good
Get
option.
that bike. I mean, I
Mhm.
get like I ride um I'm like fairly fat. So if you were to Google Maps like directions to a certain place and it were to say an hour, um I'd probably be able to do it in about like 40, 45. So like the average pace that it gives isn't accurate to each rider. Um, you have to kind of figure out your own, but it like if you go at your own pace, that's chill, and you're not overexerting yourself, which can cause you to be more prone to a seizure, as we all know. If you're sweating and huffing and puffing you're more likely to seize. Then yeah, it's if you go at a chill pace and know how to handle yourself on a bike without getting stressed out, you can get anywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, Lufa, you there? I was gonna ask Lufa because this person is also a female. But if she's not here,
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors. Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.